It's almost Halloween, so I thought for this week we would pick an album that you could play at a Halloween party so that you don't have to hear the Monster Mash for the 10,000th time, but is also an album that you could play all year round because this band is super talented. This week's album is House Ghost by the band House Ghost from Dayton, Ohio. It's pressed on Rad Girlfriend Records, again from Dayton, Ohio. You get cool outer sleeve. It's kind of pointillated. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, just some cool ghosty looking art, some Halloween type stuff. The trend follows through on the liner notes. Got some bats and then lyrics on the back. Again, in that typewriter style, that faded typewriter style font that makes you think of an old horror novel. The album itself, this is the second pressing and I believe it's only on this color, is a translucent purple vinyl. It's pretty cool looking. And that's what you get. This band describes themselves as spooky punk, and it feels that way. But it feels that way in a good way. It never gets corny or campy. Strong, tight musicianship. I really like, they have two vocalists, a male and a female, so they switch off and then harmonize with each other. This whole album just does a real good job of setting itself up and keeping that vibe, that horror themed vibe from the very beginning. The opening track, Book of Shadows, leads in with the sound of thunder and lightning. I guess lightning doesn't make a sound. The sound of thunder. And then slowly builds until the guitars are just ripping apart. It's a fascinating way to start an album, and it just continues that way throughout. Lyrically, each song on this album tells a story, a dark or spooky story, but it never feels forced. It feels like someone who could have been a really good horror writer decided they liked music better, and they took that talent, teamed it up with a bunch of talented musicians, and brought us House Ghost. I really like how they have the mixed vocals on this album. It provides a bit of depth to it, keeps it from becoming a one-trick pony. Not that I think it would, but it just provides that extra little something. And I really love the songs that Kayla takes the lead on. If I were going to suggest songs from this album, definitely the opening track, Book of Shadows, because it sets the tone for the album. Lets you know right away what you're getting into. It's just really puts that gloomy, spooky vibe in your face. The second track I would suggest is Hazel. Like I said, I really like it when Kayla takes the lead on the vocals, and the lyrics here are pretty disturbing, especially for someone like me who struggles with sleeping and nightmares anyways. Yeah, I definitely felt it the first time I heard it. Third would have to be a tie between Yellow Wallpaper, which I thoroughly enjoy. Again, it's one of those, it's so well written that it kind of gets to you, even though you know it's a song, kind of gets at you. They do such a good job of nailing the vibe they're going for here. And so to be a tie between that or Widdershins, yeah, Widdershins, I will type it. What the fuck is Widdershins? but I like the song. Just solid all the way through. While I have you, I understand that not everybody likes punk music. I guess there are people that don't. So if you don't and you still want some cool tunes to spin at a Halloween party that, again, aren't the same played out songs we've all heard since birth, I have two other suggestions. Both of them are digital right now. The first is the Phantom Pines. You can find them on Bandcamp or on Instagram. I will link below. It is labeled as dark folk, and it is just that. Folk music with a dark, gloomy undertones. It's very fun. I found it. Fun was the wrong word. It's very good, but again, very dark. And I found him, I think, just on Instagram and started listening to his music. It's very good. And Coffin Salesman from somewhere near Boston. Coffin Salesman labeled themselves as doom folk, and their albums are a wild ride. Highly suggest checking them out on Bandcamp. Again, these are artists that you can listen to year round, but I know everybody's having their gatherings for Halloween, so my suggestions would be House Ghost, Phantom Pines, and Coffin Salesman. I will link to everything below. Let me know what you're going to be spending at your Halloween party. And yeah, I'll see you next week.